The new chapter of Iruma-Kun just changed everything forever. After everything that's happened, every arc, every fight, Iruma is finally back where it all began, the human world. That's right, we got an isekai inside of another isekai, but obviously this isn't a very happy return, and what happens next might genuinely change the series forever. Chapter 418 begins where we left off, with Iruma and Ameri waking up in this massive, peaceful world of flowers, and immediately Iruma's like, wait, what just happened? Clearly not remembering when he was mind-controlled last chapter, but he does all of a sudden remember opening the door, the light swallowing them whole, and then suddenly realising that his evil cycle is completely gone. It's just him again. Clearly meaning that he wasn't himself at all in the last chapter. But when he turns to Ameri, she's completely frozen. She's staring at the flowers around them with this stunned, emotional look, almost like she's seen this place before. But when Iruma calls out to her, she finally snaps out of it, and she quickly checks if he's okay. He then asks if she knows where they are, but she admits that she doesn't. All she remembers is them going through the gate together before ending up here. So Ameri decides to scout the area, ready to take off, but then she realises that her wings won't come out. She tries using magic and nothing happens. No wings, no mana, nothing. And remember that this is what I stated in my previous chapter review. Yeah, mana is unusable here, and this is something that Iruma is obviously used to, but Ameri, this is something that's completely foreign to her. Iruma immediately blames himself, apologising for getting her into this situation, but Ameri shuts him down. She smiles and tells him not to worry, as long as they're together, they'll find a way back, and she even teases him a little bit, saying it's normal for Iruma to just end up in chaos like this. Then Iruma, with that soft smile, says he's actually happy Ameri came to save him. This is a really sweet moment, building on the tension we saw when they almost kissed, with them both blushing as they look at each other. And just as things are getting sweet between them, Ali-san suddenly pops up like he respawned from the dead. Ameri nearly jumps out of her skin and goes into full protect mode, trying to keep Iruma away from him. By the way, you can tell that Iruma is pissed that Ali-san interrupted their moment together, which was hilarious, but anyway. I do kind of love how Ameri is always just seeing Iruma as someone to be protected. Her first instinct is to always protect him, and I might be glad that someone else is meeting Ali-san, but come on bro, this is a complete wrong time. Anyway, after Ameri punches Ali in the top of the head, Iruma quickly calms her down and explains that Ali is actually the personification of the gluttonous feeding, his partner basically. But then he asks the big question, why are you outside of the ring? Ali tells him that it's because this place doesn't allow magic, so he literally got thrown out. This is huge info because it means that Ali isn't just the manifestation of mana like I originally thought, and it kind of breaks the whole theory that he's just Delkira's mana and that's it. There's clearly more to him than he's letting on, because he can survive without magic, perhaps due to Delkira's presence inside of him. But I do love how the first person to meet Ali-san is the one who will be most important to Iruma, and that's when Ali-san drops the bombshell. This isn't the demon world, it's a space between worlds. Iruma asks how he knows, but Ali says it's just instinct, which honestly, knowing him, it's probably true. Again, as I mentioned before, he has memories of Delkira, so it makes sense why he'd have rough memories of this place, given that it's where Delkira disappeared to. This isn't the world of the deities like I originally thought, but a land where you can connect to all of the realms. And that's when Ameri connects the dots. She recognises the flowers around them. They're called sumire, with kanji meaning water, sea, and spirit, and they were her mother's favourite flowers. Ameri says her parents used to spend a lot of time in a field just like this, and she's always wanted to see it for herself. But when she researched it, she found out that sumire flowers are so rare that only high-ranking demons can even get a single one. A whole field of them existing in a demon world like this is impossible. So that means that this really isn't the demon world. These flowers are actually cultivated by the deities, kind of leading into the fact that Ameri's mother may have a link with them since they're her favourite. Ameri asks Ali if there's a way back home, but he tells her that the only thing they can do is at least try to find an exit. Also, why is bro always shooting us these knowing glances? Like, I know he knows what's going on here, but I just can't prove it. And eventually they stumble upon this giant vault-like door, covered in strange patterns, and start cautiously approaching it. They attempt to open it, but the handle just won't budge. But when Iruma tries, he's sucked in by the door immediately, and suddenly he's staring at a vision of the human world, the very place he once dreamed of returning to. Yep, he's back where it all began. But the big question is, why was only he dragged in? Well, that should be obvious given that Iruma is the only human here, so the world is just taking its chance to put him back where he belongs. But this does lead to a lot of questions, like are they going to stay here for long? Is Ameri and Ali-san going to join him? Or are they going to drag him straight back through? Well, I want to go over all the options this week for you guys. So Ameri could likely be dragged into here with Ali-san if she tries to save Iruma, which knowing her, she will. But the big question I have is, how long has passed? And if you're wondering, okay, what do I mean? Well, if we look back at season 1, we see that Ameri treats the Hatsukoi Memories manga as if they're sacred relics that have been passed down her family for generations. But we know that Iruma was only an assistant a few years ago, so it's likely that time passes way faster in the demon world than it does on Earth. Even Nishi was evasive in an interview when asked about the confusing timeline, saying, "We'll learn in time." If this is the case, and it's been generations in Ameri's family, then we're talking years of time. It's just probably a few days on the human world when it comes to the demon world. It's basically a hyperbolic time chamber. So if Iruma does enter the human world again and obviously returns back to the demon world, how long would he have been gone? Well, that's kind of the main reason why I don't think they're going to stay there too long. If anything, this could just be a glimpse. And the reason why is if Iruma leaves, all of his classmates will just be way stronger than him, and he'll be left behind completely. But what if Iruma and Ameri find a way to return to the world between worlds and find another gate? This could just be straight back to the demon world, but what if they find even more lore, like the deities world, where time goes by even slower than the human world? And he and Ameri get to spend a lot of time there, growing stronger, and we get the time skip we've all been waiting for. But knowing Nishi, I have another idea of what will happen that's a little less fun. This could just be a sneak peek of the human world from Iruma, and we'll be aware of Iruma just revealing his true identity to Ameri. She already knows for the most part, but this will be a huge moment for the two. We saw how horrified Iruma looked when he saw this world, because the demon world is a true world, and this human world is actually as hell. But we also need to see what the hell Delkira's hand was doing here last chapter. So Nishi will likely have us explore the world between worlds first, before eventually showing us the human world, which is actually the future for Iruma, since Narnia will deport him one day. But the big question is, how will this even happen? How will Iruma be deported? Because even though Narnia might have a lot of power as a 13 crown, he's not the leader of the border control, and he and Henry have about equal levels of power right now. And this is where I think Henry's decision to be with Marise will come back to bite him in the arse, and Iruma as well. Because I very much doubt it's allowed to just marry other beings from other realms, like a deity or a human. And honestly, following this chapter, the chances are that Marise was human, meaning that Narnia could use that against them, taking full control of the border control and just getting rid of Iruma. I mean, we saw that Amy Azumi was needing revenge and also saw Iruma as a huge threat, so chances are he'd be able to rally men behind his cause. Even if Marise was a deity like I theorized, Iruma did just open the gate to the human world, which I doubt is possible unless you are human. Remember that even Sullivan needed to be summoned by Iruma's parents in the first chapter. He couldn't just enter. But honestly, I'd love to hear what you guys think about all this, because honestly, some people on my Discord completely cooked, and were even better than me and got it more correct than I did. So if you guys want to discuss the Iruma chapters as they release, then make sure to join my Discord. It's genuinely getting really big now, and I really enjoy talking in there to you guys. And if you guys want to see me post more, I've been trying more and more to post as much as possible because Iruma's just been insane lately, then do become a member if you can afford it, obviously. You get extra stickers and stuff for the channel, and you also get extra permissions in the Discord, you know, with extra roles. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then I really recommend watching the previous Iruma chapter review. So yeah, see you guys next time.